Blaine, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us who Blaine Long is, the history, how you got from there to right here on Mesa Morning Live.
Oh, dear Lord. I don't know, that's a lot, that's a lot. Tempe kid, I'll go as fast as I can without mumbling as much as I do. Tempe kid, moved here in like 84, 83 maybe. My dad was my godfather owned the batting cages. You guys ever remember that? Done on the river bottom there. The Cubs used to play there. So that was my godfather, Mr. Gill. So we kind of come back, we go back in the Tempe area. So that's where I'm from. I started playing music, that's all I've ever wanted to do. Do not have a high school diploma, did not go to college, do not have a GED. This is all I've ever wanted to do. And through certain events and my drive, at the same time, I landed where I'm at. But I've been playing full time for about 15, 16 years or so. But since I was 16, I've been playing in the bars and getting kicked out once I play, You played, now get out, you're too young,
That's awesome.
But yeah, just writing songs. That was my main goal.
Were the songs we heard today, were they your originals?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, that's the fun part for me, making stuff up.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, you're just doing karaoke.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's no rules. If you do karaoke, they know, hey, you didn't sing that right, or hey, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Or so there's no rules. I don't want any rules.
That's awesome. Nobody can tell you missed the words.
That's right.
You wrote the words.
Yes.
And any song that's got bacon in it, I'm in.
And we're vegetarians in my house, yeah. Except for my son and myself, so we don't even cook bacon in the house. So my wife does not like that song. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
well, since you went that road, tell us about your family.
Yeah, beautiful wife, Joni. She's a speech therapist and also works for Rodana Fields. What else? My boy is Carson. My daughter is Oriana, and we adopted both of them at 3.5. And she is 12 now. We're going through it. and she
now
just
we know
turned
why he
12.
works in bars every night.
You have no idea, man. Maybe you do. I don't know. My boy just turned 10, and so he just turned 10, and she just turned 12, and we're in it. We're in it, man.
Well, as a veteran of that, let me tell you, the boys go through a little rough patch from about 10 to 30. So you only got 20.
I would agree with that. Right around 30, I kind of said, hey, what's going on?
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, there's a world.
Maybe I should bathe and get some steady income. I don't know, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about our good friend, Grant Woods, our mutual friend.
Yes.
He somehow got involved with a music project, and boy, he should be your manager. Well, he wanted to be, by the way, Grant, a former Attorney General for Arizona, wanted to be here this morning. He had a speaking engagement, but he said, oh my gosh, I'd love to be there. Blaine's the best. So tell us how that.
Grant.
Yeah, well, tell us about that music project.
Yes. Well, it was called The Projects. I had been recording records, since I could. I started working out of a studio called 3 Leaf. 3 Leaf was doing The Project, which was Grant Woods. Grant Woods writes great songs. He really does. I'd like to tear him apart because I'm grumpy, and that's what I do, but he writes really good songs.
But he can't sing them, but he can write them.
But here's the deal. I think he should. I've been trying to, I think he thinks I'm teasing him, but it's like, he should record the record. He sings as well as Chris Christopherson, which is one of his guys.
That's his idol, yeah.
Chris is not a great singer, but he's a great storyteller, which is the point. So Grant can do the same thing. Grant has a good voice. Wow. He can do it. So anyway, we worked on this project, and Grant wanted to include the community, so he got all the local singers. I can't even think right now. Myself, I was the last guy on the project. They had a song that nobody could really sit in the pocket, right? And I did a lot of talking. So I'm a talk singer. So they said, one of the engineers said, I got the guy for you. And then from there, I got on the record with Grant, and everybody was singing Grant songs, different famous singers in town, or not so famous. And through that process, singing on the project, Grant said, hey, let's talk. Let's talk. So we kind of talked up and said, let's do a record together. And so his record label, Bright Angel Records, did my record. And I did a couple of Grant songs on that record. And people like them more than my songs. Grant's he has some really, really good tunes. I think there's 4 of his songs on that record, and 2 of them are just amazing. Wow. Just amazing. So anyway, from there, we got on The Voice.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm rambling, forgive me. Yeah.
No. Tell us that whole process, because that's a nerve-wracking thing. Any kind of competition, because whether it's singing or comedy or whatever, it's so subjective. I mean, what somebody likes, the other person doesn't like. So it really takes a lot of nerve to try and do that. How did you get on there?
Yeah, well, through a friend of Grant's. One day we get a call saying, hey, you know, for the project's record, we did it at the Orpheum. We released it at the Orpheum and put on a big show and raised all the money for ASA, Arizona School for the Arts, where my daughter now attends. Last month, she started there in the middle of the year. Also fun. And, so from the Orpheum, a fella videotaped me playing my song, which was Grant's song. And I guess he liked it. He sent it to a producer friend of his, talked to Grant, said, I set up a meeting. Grant said, okay, let's go. So we went to this meeting with an English fellow, and I didn't really understand much of what he said. It was also very early in the morning. He had a very thick accent, and evidently, then next thing I know, I'm in California auditioning for The Voice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, who were the judges on The Voice your season?
Miley Cyrus, Alicia Keys, and then the two fellas, Blake and Adam Levine.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a bizarre cross-section of music that is.
The whole thing is crazy. It's lead singers are the worst people in the world. And that is the truth. I'm a songwriter, but lead singers are the worst. So it's a summer camp for lead singers. And it's just tons of egos everywhere. People were at the pool in fur coats in the summertime, in cowboy boots. I'm like just chilling at the, you know, just really just characters, just with boas, and at all times they had costumes.
And remember, that's reality TV.
That was all real, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was a crazy thing, but yeah, nerve-wracking very much. So before I left, I went and I got a prescription for Xanax. When you see me on TV, I'm heavily sedated. Yeah, I had to. Like I had major panic attacks.
Wow. So forgive my ignorance on this. How did that go? I know you moved on.
Well, I only went to 2 rounds, and I was grateful that I even got on the show, and I was more grateful that I got off the show. It was a little over 2 months away from my wife and kids, and you know, the adoption process. You know, my kids still have attachment issues, so that was not good. In fact, when I made it on the show after the second audition, before the television, I called my wife. Everybody was hugging and crying in the room in California, and I said, babe, we can't do this. It's months. They never tell us this. You know, they don't tell you anything until you need to know. Yeah. Which is basically right when it's happening. So my wife said, my wife, who is very, she doesn't drink. She eats dessert to party. That's her thing. She'll eat some cake. And so she said, you're effing going. My wife does not cuss. She cusses and said, you're going to the show. So, yeah, I had no choice.
Just being on there.
I had no choice,
Yeah, well, and just being on there, I mean, that's a credit that'll stay with you forever.
It is. Fortunately and unfortunately. It's such a blessing. I learned so much, but it was not what coming up as a kid, I thought, this is not you don't aspire to be on a TV show. Yeah. You know, which it was more than it was a music show. Right. So, and I was old enough to know that, but it was really hard watching the younger kids kind of get crushed that didn't make it and who had more talent than most people. Like some of these kids can play and sing, you would not believe what they could do, and the show didn't really show their true talents, I don't feel. Yeah. You know, forgive me. Yeah, but you know, so it was a beautiful thing to see all that talent and then kind of join in with them, you know, but it was,
Well, just keep all this in mind when you're watching reality TV, because it's the farthest thing from real. Yeah,
but the contestants are very real. When they're going up, that's what I discovered as a grumpy old man on the show. Like I think I was the second oldest person to ever be on the show. They kept asking where my child was that I was the guardian of. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Every time they did that, I said, hold on, let's take a picture. And I call my wife. They're doing it again, babe. They think I'm a guardian.
Can I come home?
Yeah, but all the contestants were very real. I mean, it was very intense. So and then after we made it onto the show, they said, okay, each team got to watch their video tape of the whole team now performing of their blind audition, which they don't tell you anything. So when I got to see that, I realized, this is very real. Everyone's in the room like, you know, are they gonna make it? He's sitting right beside me, he made it, like, you know. But you're so caught up and it's a very real thing.
Wow,
yes, sir.
Yeah. I know years ago when I was starting out in comedy, people go, there's all these contests, and I never wanted to do them because I always felt like, you know, when it comes to the one-armed banjo player always wins, you know? I'm just a guy talking, but the songwriting, I can't help but notice on the inside of your right hand, I see a tattoo, luck.
Luck.
There's probably a story behind that.
There is. Tex Earnhardt.
Can you share it with us?
Absolutely. There is. Tex Earnhardt. I did after The Voice. They contacted me, and they said, "Look, it's a big anniversary for Earnhardt and Tex, and he started out in Chandler, and he's one of the biggest things, and he's just such a character. We all know him. That ain't no bull, you know.
Yeah.
I grew up with him, and through the studio that I was working in, he had done commercials for Tex, so he knew Tex, and Earnhardt contacted me and said, "Look, we know you're a songwriter for being on this show. That's your thing. Can you write us a song?" And what I do is I do a lot of custom songs for folks, like weddings and stuff, or just someone's, you know, father passed or mother passed. And so I'll interview everybody that knows them, and I write down their story in my words, you know, but I try to do their story in my words, so it's original effort. So I did that with Earnhardt, and I interviewed everybody around Tex, and it was very interesting. Like, the man is loved. The man is a character.
Oh, yeah, that.
Like, he is really cool. Like, he's a super interesting character, but he's got all these isms, Tex isms. And the harder you work, the luckier you get. So for me, you know, at around 40, I'm 44, I decided I'm gonna draw on my body because I'm not gonna have a desk job. Like, it's just, it's not gonna happen. I'm very good at digging holes, painting houses, and playing guitar. So I just said, you know, I'm gonna do these things, and why not? You know, and like, life is very short, and it doesn't hurt, and you know, why not? So like, just to remind me to get up, work, get up, get out of bed, go to the show, record yesterday we recorded a record, did a video shoot, 10 songs, did a 10-song record live, and also did a photo shoot. So it's just constantly working, and that takes a lot. But, you know, the Tex and the people that I meet, I steal. I steal their ideas.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, you know, people always say, boy, I wish I could do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know all the behind the scenes, how much work it is. They think you just, you know, you get up at noon, you go into a studio, you create a hit record, and then you go out and lay by the pool in a fur coat.
No, that's one day a week. That's one day a week. The rest of them you should be working, yeah. One day, come on.
That's awesome.
Yes.
If somebody wants to see you live, are you performing in the Valley in the holiday season?
Yes, absolutely. Everywhere, and I don't know where that is right now. BlaineLong.com, BLAINELONG.
You can see it right on the screen.
Hey, there we go.
BlaineLongMusic.com.
Yeah. Well, that's another one. I have a bunch. I don't know what I'm doing. They all connect. They're all digital world. I'm
you know what?
A dinosaur.
When you're really good at what you do, other people will seek you out and find where you are.
Yeah.
And wow, that's such an amazing story. For a lot of the folks here and also watching at home, you're a guy that just realized you have a niche. And besides digging holes and painting houses, you followed your dream.
100%.
Can you share that passion that you have with that with somebody that might be sitting there? I guarantee you there's people right now that have a job they don't like.
Right.
Or they're in a situation with a relationship they don't like.
Right.
Or they don't know what they want to do with their life. Give us, if Blaine Long morphed into Dr. Phil.
Well,
Which, by the way, let me see under the hat.
Wait, that's a sweaty hat.
Yeah, there we go. That's right. I figured we were brethren here.
This is my nerve-wracking time when I start sweating, and I just got to wear hats, and so you don't see. Yeah.
No, and I'm throwing you a curveball, but I think that you're a guy that marched to the beat of your own guitar.
Yeah.
And good for you.
Yeah. It's a tough thing, and I didn't know any other way. I just assumed this is what you did. This is you wanted to do something, and you did it. I don't know. Yeah, my advice, if I can use a bunch of cuss words, let me start right now. And no, you have legs. We all have legs. Get up and move. If you don't like where you're at, get up and move. If you don't have money for your next project, sell some things. Work harder. Get another job. Dig a ditch. Paint your buddy's house. I mean, I haven't done that in years, but I'll do it in a second. You know, I mean, if you want to do something, do it. Tell people, this is what I want to do. You're going to find someone that'll help you out or give you some advice or or push you. Maybe you'll be at the edge and they'll shove you a little bit. That's my wife a lot of times, you know. Yeah. And sometimes when people tell you not to, that's when you should probably. That's what I've done a lot in my life. Not just to be silly or a rebel, just to go, this doesn't make sense. Everyone's going this way and they're telling me I shouldn't. What's over there? What's over there?
Yeah.
Which is very Grant. Which is very Grant. Grant's Grant, why not? That's his thing, why not?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I do that? Why, well, let's try it. You know, Grant's very open-minded, and along my journey, bumping into Grant and him kind of taking me and saying, you know.
That was not an accident.
No, I owe a lot to Grant. Grant's a very nice dude and a very good man, and you know, he's also very, very salty.
You know, it makes him that way. He's a Mesa native.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's the water in Mesa?
You know what, I couldn't agree with you more, and not to hijack what you're saying, but I meet so many people that are, like you meet somebody that's not where they want to be physically. You know, oh man, I can't live without the ocean. I go, well, you live in Des Moines. You know, you may want to go one direction or the other. So follow your dreams and follow your heart.
100%.
Anybody got a question for, when's the last time in 1 hour that you had a Hall of Famer and a Hall of Fame guitar player songwriter right here? Anybody got a question for Mr. Blaine Long?
I'll paint your house if when he needs their house painted.
By the way, I'm going to call Grant and tell him how great you were, and I'm going to tell him I don't think I want to listen to Grant, though, because as an attorney, he'd probably bill me by the hour I listen to.
He might, I don't know.
That's awesome. Well, oh wait, I think we have a text here. Maybe I've got a text from from one of my audience members, not from Sally? Okay, I thought maybe Sally had a question. Sally, do you have a question for our special guest?
Yeah. And I owe you an apology. I kind of ran you through the ringer for today, so please forgive me, and I love you and forgive me, and yeah, the flowers are on their way, yeah.
Well, let me tell you, we'd love to have you come back.
Absolutely.
And we owe you something. Our special guest, we always give them a nice little fun little gift. We don't have it today.
Is it the horse?
It's not the horse.
Was it Mike?
That's
yeah.
Keith. Yeah. No,
that's Mike.
Keith already bought this for $2,500.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
$2,500.
I don't know about that.
He didn't fall out of his chair.
You're very generous.
We're going to give you, from one of our favorite sponsors, Cobblestone Auto Spa. Do you have a car?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That would have been embarrassing if you said no.
I really don't right now, and if you could... Yes, Earnhardt hooked me up with a truck, yeah.
Oh, really?
I have a beautiful truck from Earnhardt, yeah. You go on their website, check out the song, yeah.
Man, that is nice. We've got a beautiful gift certificate for a detail job on your Earnhardt truck. We owe it to you. We don't have it today, but we'll get that from Joey. And Sally, can we make that happen?
Yeah.
We'll somehow get that into your hands.
Okay. Or if we could donate it. Someone want $30. Come on, 30. Oh no. Oh, for me. Okay.
It's for you.
I tried.
Yeah, but nice.
I didn't really want to give it away.
That's awesome. Well, we can't thank you enough. It's always great to have live music, no matter what, but to have somebody of your stature. And like I said, I did a little research on you. Grant said he's great at what he does, but he's a good dude.
Thank you.
So
thank you, Grant.
Thanks for being a good dude.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Blaine Long.
Thank you, sir.